Refresh Me massage. Thank you for coming to talk to us today. Do you want to introduce yourself and what you?
Yeah, sure.
What you do?
So thank you, Sharon. So yeah, my name is Annie Abbs, and my business is Refresh Me Massage, and I've been in business about 7 years. Trained as a massage therapist about 10 years ago. I've got my own business treating clients at home. I did have a studio, which I've now closed, but I found that since COVID, there's a big demand for people working at home, so I visit people at home to
And
offer
people
them
still
lots
want
of
you to
treatments.
go out to their homes.
Oh
and,
yeah, big demand
Wow.
demand for that.
Okay. Annie, what sort of massages do people normally ask for?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's quite a variety actually. Lots of people ask me to go and see me because they've got bad backs, tense shoulders, necks. Everyone's working from home, they crouch over the kitchen tables. A lot of mums and dads that've got toddlers that are picking up their kids up and down, in and out the car. People with busy lives that can't sleep very well. A lot of pregnancy massages, women that just need a treatment to give them a little bit of an uplift. Quite a variety actually.
Do you think as people in England are quite funny still about massages? I know that I was. I didn't really want someone to be touching me.
I think it's a mixed bag really. I think it's quite, because it's quite prevalent in Asian countries,
Yeah.
Thailand, China. In China it's quite common for women to go on a Friday to get their nails done, massage and get their hair done. So I do have quite a lot of Chinese clients. Thailand, it's obviously on every corner.
Do you think
There's
us Brits
massages.
are a bit uptight still then?
I don't think so. I think people are a bit wary, but once they get to know me, I can sort of put them rest assured that it's going to be a good treatment for them. I think some men don't like men touching them,
Yes.
so they prefer women. Some girlfriends that might book a massage for their partner don't want a young woman coming around. So as an older woman, I think I've got an advantage.
Oh, tell us about the prenatal massages. I've got quite a few younger friends that are pregnant now. What's the benefits of having those?
What I've often found is that helps them relax, particularly towards sort of the end of the trimester, when in the last sort of month or so before the due date. And it's often when they're on maternity leave, so they want to sort of have a really nice time. One is they're carrying an extra lot of weight, so their hips can hurt, their legs can ache, they can get swelling in their legs. So we go there to visit them and can counteract that. So tense shoulders still, someone might still be working, so that tense, the whole sort of way their body dynamic works is adjusting, so you're helping with that lot of lower back pain. So I have a specially adapted couch, so at normal massages you lie on your front and your back. In this case,
how do they do that?
There are couches that you can have with a big hole in it, but I don't fancy those at all. So lying on your back, so I sat up, because it's not good advice to lie on your back either. In an upright position, I've got a specially adapted couch, as I mentioned. You sort of work around their neck area. They're very relaxed, and their legs are elevated, so they're sort of pushed into the table.
Because you're very sensitive. I remember being very sensitive when I was pregnant. I went for a leg wax, and it was the worst thing I could have done.
Really?
I'd never done leg wax before,
Yes.
and I was screaming because I didn't realise how sensitive
I think you have hypersensitivity in different areas. That's true actually. And one thing during pregnancy is that you have increased blood vessels, increased blood flow, so you'd never do a deep tissue. So it's a very relaxing. Although you can work a little bit deeper into certain areas around the neck, but you're very cautious. Always have a professional that's been trained in pregnancy massage. The other thing I was going to mention, that you get swollen legs, so it helps with the working on the lymphatic system.
Because they tell you to put your legs up anyway, rest.
So helps with that. Helps with, you can work on the tummy. You can get very tight. But obviously you always ask the woman, is there anyone you don't want to be touched? You're very careful of her sensitivity. They can be very protective around their tummy. So
I'm reminded, we got a couple of ladies here in the building that are pregnant at the moment.
Really?
So, they're towards the last bit of their. Is that better when it's the last 3 months?
It's up to them. What I have found is that some women that like to party, have to give that up, so they're not drinking, they're not going and seeing their friends as much, so they want to spend that money on something as a treat for themselves. So I visit them weekly, a weekly visit until the baby's born, and then carry it on. There was one lady I saw when she was pregnant with her first child. She's now got 3 children, and I still see her. So it's nice that you've been part of their journey. It's really
the family now.
Yeah.
How safe is it to do a pregnancy massage?
First of all, I'd actually make sure your therapist is qualified, and being qualified, that means you're insured as well. That's one safety precaution. But you'd actually proceed in a routine that's agreeable with you and the woman having the massage. It's very safe, but you use a very light pressure. You're not laying down for too long.
There's no like elbow pressure type.
No, not at all. Just very gentle pressure, and they lay on their side, the left hand side. They don't recommend that you lay on your right hand side because you're putting pressure on one of the arteries. So I think the therapist should know all those things, but you don't want to offload that onto the client. They just want to know you know what you're doing. Yeah. It's very safe, and it actually it can improve their well-being. So in a way, for their mental health, nice and relaxed, they're improved breathing, so they feel better and rejuvenated, a bit uplifted, and a bit of.
And you need that, don't you, in pregnancy?
Yeah.
Because you're worn out. You're shattered all the bloody.
Wait till the baby comes.
Yeah. Okay, so we touched on some desk workers as well. I'm a desk worker. I do have a tendency to lean over, which we do, which makes us a little bit shoulders down. What would be the perfect massage for a desk worker?
Well, first of all, I think your therapist should tell you how to sit at a desk and to make sure ergonomically that your desk is in line with you.
Want to sit up straight.
Take plenty of breaks from your desk, walk around a bit. But the best massage would be a deep tissue massage, working deeply into the neck area across the shoulders and loosening the tension in the head. That can be really good for relieving headaches, particularly if you've had a long day looking at the screen
work.
And the lower back as well, working all the way up the back. So concentrating mostly on the upper part of the body and to sort of correct that posture by doing some stretching, some mobility, you're sort of pulling the shoulders back. Yeah. So lots of corrective actions will take place to get you sort of in alignment and release the deep tension that I often find in people that are at desk all day in the neck and shoulder area.
Yeah, mine is like the back of the bra. That's where I carry my stress, I reckon.
Well, I've started to call that where's your abs? Yeah. And people say, oh, there. I said, no, it's above the bra strap. Like in there, that's a real sort of area of tension. So if you can get in there, that's good. Oh, okay. Under the shoulder blade, well, we sort of pull the shoulder back, get in there, and really releases it. Yeah, might hurt a bit at the time and be bruised the next day a little bit, but long term it's much better for you. Yeah.
So I think it definitely alleviates headaches and stuff like that. It helps me sleep better. Do you recommend massage for sleep?
Oh, definitely. Lots of people very stressed out these days, and to have a massage at the end of the day, if you're using some essential oils that have already been pre-prepared, like lavender, ylang ylang, they're sleep inducing. So once you've made contact with the client, get them to breathe very slowly, very deeply, listen to some music so they're not thinking about the stresses of the day, which can interrupt your sleep. Make sure they don't drink tea or coffee or alcohol before bed. Do a very nice, deep, relaxing strokes over the body will induce sleep, and they usually sleep, often get messages saying they've had the best night's sleep in ages, so it's really good.
That sounds lovely. There's a lot of talk about mental health around, and it is more prevalent now that we've gone through COVID and stuff like that. Would it be conducive for mental health to start massaging or to have that treat for yourself?
It does, because it means that you're not, I think you need to look after yourself. Self-care is really important, and massages can help with that. I think it's just trying to educate your clients not to stress about the small things particularly. We all have anxiety, stress, are sort of they're a natural function of the body to a certain extent. but it's when it sort of takes over too much. So sometimes massage can help relax, give you sort of clarity, and you're not sweating the small stuff, worrying about everything.
I think that's a big thing, isn't it? Because we rush around all day, don't we? We're at our desk for like, I know my desk for like 11, 12 hours most days. And it is that remembering to go out at lunchtime, remembering to stop and actually have some time for yourself. It is a big thing, isn't it? It's almost like meditation, isn't it? You know, going into your massage. How long is a typical massage? Half an hour?
I prefer an hour. An hour's really good if you've got anxiety and stress. And I really started to notice that when my clients were filling out consultation forms, they might book you for relaxing massage. I don't know much about them, and then you read their the consultation notes, and it's all insomnia, irritability, stress, anxiety, nervousness. So you sort of want to, I don't ask them too many questions because it's not I'm not qualified, I'm not their counsellor, but I can sort of say, look, this will really help, this deep relaxing massage. Try to relax towards the end of the day. So there's little things that you can put into your routine to alleviate the stress and the worry. But if you obviously are undergoing anything much more seriously, then I'd say seek professional help.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. It's stuff that we worry about day to day, isn't it? That can interrupt sleep, and then you can start getting a cold. You get a lot of headaches. And I think just taking that time out then.
That time out helps, and obviously putting in measures. So if you are worrying at night, which then is going to affect your sleep, you can't function. So my always tip is try to have a nice hot bath before you go to bed. And if you're still unable to get off to sleep, because you're worrying about things, write down those things that are worrying you, and when you're going to deal with them. When you're going to deal with them, not that thing's not going to go away, but it's when you're going to deal with it. So if you've got a problem with somebody at work, Denise is like really annoying you, think, well, actually I'm going to talk to Denise on Tuesday. I'm going to talk to my boss on Friday. I don't want my sister to come and see me at Christmas, so I'm going to have that conversation with her on Wednesday, and sort of try and allot those things that are worrying you. It's my medication, right? Okay, I'm going to talk to my doctor next week, and just plot those in. Then you see you've got a plan.
That's a really good idea.
Of what to do. The problem hasn't gone, but you're going to deal with it when the time comes, and you will sleep better. Problem's still there in the morning.
I find that too. I sleep with a pad next to my bed, and I will wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 6, but the fact that you've put them down helps. Right, I'm not going to forget that now.
That's all right.
But to use that as your to-do list as well, to book appointments is a really great idea.
Yeah, and this it's actually on the NHS website. So
is it?
yeah.
Oh wow.
If you've got issues with insomnia.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. And Annie, on TikTok, there seems to be a lot of buzz about aromatherapy massages. That's not a new thing, is it?
Not at all, because aromatherapy just means that you're using essential oils in with the mix that you're using. And essential oils have a function that they're going to have some change in your body physically. So it's whether through the aroma or the application onto the skin. So you need to have a qualified aromatherapist to work with you.
So you could just go into a health shop and just pick ones that you like the smell of, or...
Well, you could do, but I'd look on the label to see what they're actually do. So if you want to be uplifted, then you would have something that has those uplifting properties, like lemongrass. If you want to relax, you'd use something like lavender, which is a good one to go to.
I love the lavender ones.
But I'd actually ask, always have like you can have a pre-mixed blend. That's the best thing. And then you've got the right amount of essential oils to carrier oils.
And can you put those direct onto your skin? Would you put them in the bath?
No,
you
wouldn't use anything direct on your skin. There are a couple, but you never use them directly onto your skin because some can burn and be an irritant. I'd actually seek advice for that. There are two, lavender and tea tree are ones that you can do, but I'd actually check that first. I'm not an aromatherapist. I do use essential oils in carrier oils as a massage treatment, but I would always have pre-blended first. So places like Neal's Yard do them. That's a good place to go to start with.
And do people get allergic from? Do they have allergies against things like that?
They do, like anything. You have allergies to anything. So yeah, they are. So sometimes rose, particularly the sort of flower ones like rose, or nut based ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, actually, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's nut oils, so.
Annie, my partner can't switch off, and it's really hard. You know, he's a big, muscly guy. What would be a great massage for total relaxation for him?
Excuse me. Doesn't matter whether it's a big guy or not, really. And it's funny. Sometimes the big guys, you think, oh no, this is going to be hard work. The elbows are coming out, and they say, I just want something really relaxed. I've had a really stressed day, and they just want to switch off. So first of all, you set the scene. You dim the lights. You make sure everyone's out of the house or in the other room. You have some candles on. You have some relaxing music playing, which I can provide or suggest. You have an electric blanket. An electric blanket on a couch is fantastic because not only it relaxes you, it helps if you're actually working on the muscles, especially if someone's come in from the day, they've had a shower, and they're getting into the zone. So they've got into the zone before you've even started. And then you just use very soft, long movements, strokes over the body, nothing too punch, and it all flows together. It's a bit like a dance movement.
I'm there on that coach with you.
You are. I'm there, yeah. So you don't sort of start. Try not to keep the noise down. I always wear, I'm in bare feet, no clunky shoes. Yeah, a phone switched to make sure the phone's switched off. And then you just relax with the head and neck. Work very deeply into the neck and the face because you wouldn't believe how much tension there is in the jaw and the head. Work across the arms, the chest, the legs, turn over, do a lot of work on the back, which is really relaxing. The legs and the feet particularly susceptible to pressure, so that's really relaxing.
I don't like my feet being touched.
Don't you? But then that's personal preference. Some people love it. And then work more into the shoulders and neck, and then always finish. That's my sort of my method, MO, is to finish with a deep massage into the head, and then you bring them back. They usually asleep by then or in a deep relaxation.
They should fall asleep to you?
Yeah, fall asleep, yeah. You can tell by the snoring. And that's not me. You get them to sort of start breathing again and come round, and then afterwards they can feel lightheaded. But usually just very calm, relaxed, sit them down with the herbal tea just to replenish the fluids, no caffeine or alcohol, and usually sleep really well. Yeah,
lovely. Thank you, Annie. As we're filming for Women in Business, if you wanted to start going down this road, just to try it, to see if you wanted to be a masseur, is it masseur?
Massage therapist.
Massage therapist. Where would people start? Where would people start by getting to be trained up? Or just to taste it?
Yeah, I think if you've got an interest, there are plenty of taster sessions. I think go along for a taster session, usually for a day, run by colleges, London School of Massage.
You don't need any qualifications for that?
Not for a taster, no, you can go along. I think people can suss you out what your rationale for being there is.
Yeah.
You get a feel of it. You'll understand that you'll need to know about anatomy and physiology, and the actual fact, can you touch people, which is a big thing. If you think it's a great idea and then you realise that you do not want to touch people, you're not really going to have a great career. There might be something else in that field, but not that particular one. So taster sessions, they're fun.
Okay, and what sort of, you're started out in your first year, so you've got qualified. What sort of money can you make? If we're going to go, down to basics, what sort of money can you make as a massage therapist?
I think to start off with, it might be hard. You might want to go and work for another company to start with. Then that builds up
to be employed by them.
To be employed by them gives you the confidence. You really want to do it because you have to be passionate. It can be take a toll on you. So I'd say, don't take the risk first of all. Work for 6 months for somebody else. Know if you like it, if you love it. Then you start to offer massages to friends and family, a little bit discounted. Don't discount, because I don't like that word, but to start off with, then you gradually build up your reputation. And I'd say you should be earning, depending what you're charging and where you live and your costs, keep your costs down, you could be earning 35,000, I think, really.
What's the average massage? What would you
I'd
charge
say in London 65 to 85 for an hour. In London for mobile, should be more really. In a studio it's about 65.
But you're going to be travelling throughout that as well, aren't you?
You're travelling, but
yeah.
you don't have the costs of premises.
Yeah.
And it's all claimable back on your tax because it's an expense.
Yeah. That gives viewers as well an idea on what sort of monies you can earn. And what sort of training period would you need to become?
Yeah, it depends on what type of course you're doing. I think you need to understand do your case studies, and you need to take time. You can't do a crash course in 4 weeks
and then be out on the road.
Because it's about 6 months. So there are 3 things that you cover. Excuse me, as a training as a massage therapist. One would be the anatomy and physiology, how the body works. You need to understand that. Good understanding of the muscle structure within that. Second would be professionalism, how you conduct yourself, how you treat people, how you take a consultation and understanding that, how you set a room up, any health and safety issues. And then the other thing is actually just the massage techniques themselves, whether you're doing a Swedish massage, that is your basis. And then from that, having that qualification, then you can, like to a level 3, it's called level 3, and then you could find other ones and then do sports massage after a year, or pregnancy massage, or to do a lymphatic drainage or more specialist things. But they all become layers on top, and the more qualified you are, the more of those types of treatments you have under your belt, the better you are, because you're better to adapt to the needs of that client. And that's probably the important thing, giving the treatment tailor-made to that client, I would say.
So probably better to go and work for someone, because you wouldn't know about the health and safety of it and how to set up.
I think
and how
to
you
start
do a bed
off with, and you're covered. You're covered. It's safer for you. You'll meet other people within that company.
It's also a great mentor, isn't it? Showing you what to do.
Yeah, if you're in the right business, somebody's showing you what to do. Then being out on your own, suddenly in that big bad cold world.
How much, Annie? How much anatomy do you really need to know about? You know, can I take a quick? I can't even remember what it was called. Was it biology?
Anatomy and physiology. You can do a 7-year degree in medicine and you're still covering anatomy and physiology. So it's as shallow and as deep as you want it to be. But then you do need to have a good understanding of the systems that are working the body.
You're putting pressure on places as well.
Yeah, you don't want to poke somewhere where you shouldn't be poking. You wouldn't work deeply into where the soft tissues areas are, and you have to be mindful of where certain bones are. Could you do damage on someone then? Oh yeah, of course you could. Yeah. Exerting a lot of pressure into the wrong place would do some damage.
And presumably massage therapists do get sued for hurting people, or?
Yes, well that's why you need to be insured, so you're covered, and you can only be insured if you're qualified.
Right.
So be qualified, be insured.
Lovely.
And be licensed, I would say.
Yeah. Where would you get your licence from?
From your local authority. Most licences are free in outer London. In central London you do have to pay. Okay. But I'm not sure what the costs are.
So that's something you would check when you book someone, if they're licensed?
I would ask to see their licence,
Okay. Have you had any inappropriate moments?
What do you mean by inappropriate?
I know from other massage therapists that they've been asked for things like happy endings, and that they've got quite a lot of rude phone calls. And
if asked for a happy ending, I've usually said I'm happy when it's ended. But I think you understand. I think if you put clearly on your website or your contact, this is not a sexual service.
Yeah, well, you'd actually put that, would you?
Yeah, you can do, and in the communications or somewhere on the consultation form. It's going to happen. People will ring up. Don't be too upset by it. People do ask, and you just say, no, that's not what I do. End that conversation quickly. Yeah. Don't get flustered by it.
People, it's like you say, people are often asked, aren't they?
Yeah. So
if you don't ask, you don't get, do you?
Exactly. So unfortunately, touch wood, I've never had any issues with any of my clients at all.
Nothing's ever gone wrong during a massage?
No, I've had someone that's tried to touch my feet. There's no touching of me at all. So just tuck the hand under and say that's not appropriate. If you carry on, I'm going to end this now. Wow. So you should feel the confidence to walk away from that client.
Yeah.
even though they've got to get them off the bed and you've got to take your couch away.
Yeah.
But I think safety is quite a good point to understand. Let people know where you're going, have the address, make sure they pay in advance online, because then you've got the credit
Protect
cards.
yourself as well.
It's just protecting yourself. It's like anything.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Take some precautions.
So you've had someone touch your feet. You must get dogs that walk in. If you're doing stuff at home, do you get dogs walking in?
Yeah, dogs, because they're pining outside, and I love dogs, so I sort of let the dog in, and then I've knelt down to do someone's feet, and they've just sat on the back of my legs. They lick my toes. The cats jump on the bed. Wake up their owners.
This is part of the service.
Yeah. So they are. I've been bitten by a tortoise.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. That was quite.
I didn't know
funny.
tortoise bite.
No, it was biting my shirt, my trousers.
Oh God, that's
I've been bitten by a dog as well.
Have you?
It was over a new mum had a baby,
Oh.
so I was one of the first people in the house to see her, apart from
Very
her close
protective.
visit. Yeah,
Mm.
it was only being protected, but I did have to sort of back into a corner. So yeah.
Oh God. Annie, is there any other funny stories you want to tell us?
Yeah, there are. Yes, that comes to mind is visiting a client at home. She was from overseas, and she'd booked. We used to call it anti-cellulite in those days. I think it's prefer it to be called body sculpting. And funny enough, most people that book anti-cellulite are about a size 8 with no cellulite at all.
It's not as big a lady.
No, she's not big, darling. And so I said, well, where's your cellulite? And she was looking around the house, like at the ceiling. And I said, where's your cellulite? And and I don't know whether she'd actually intentionally booked anti-cellulite or not, but I sort of worked.
Did you find it?
No, she didn't have any, which is, I could say it worked, but anyway, that's not.
Annie, as part of the Women in Business courses that we're offering, we do encourage women to come on and talk about how they set up, what they do. I know that you make some products of your own. Do you want to tell us about those?
Yes, so having worked in massage for about 10 years, I realised there were a lot of people that needed something to do with pain relief. So I developed a CBD balm, which stands for cannabidiol balm, and it just helps with pain relief. So it's working on topical areas into their necks. I see a lot of people with arthritis, so it can help relieve the pain in that. Post-operative on hip and knee joints, and I just found that works alongside what I'm doing. So it enhances the treatment. I don't use it instead of, it's just and developing that self-care, not taking drugs and medication. That is still important. I wouldn't say don't take it. I'm just saying it works alongside, and it's an alternative or an assistance to use. And I've just had great feedback from that. So I've developed that about 6 months ago. Did a small launch, a small batch, which is always good. Do a small amount, test it out, but sell it. Don't do it for free. And the feedback's good, so I'm launching it a bit bigger, going a bit bigger in January as well.
Wow.
So,
And that's very popular. There's a lot about CBD at the moment everywhere, isn't there?
it is popular, and I didn't quite believe the comments I had myself on it. Had good feedback from it.
So just for listeners, it's not the stuff that gets you high. The element's been taken out.
No,
is
it's been processed. It comes from the cannabis plant, but the THC, which is the trippy stuff, has been removed. So you just get the cannabidiol working on those receptors in our body, which interact with the nervous system to block the transmission of pain, and it blocks that really.
And I think when people take that anyway, it helps with pain relief and.
Well, it helps to relax as well. It improves sleep. I've had people say that it's this first night I've had a decent night's sleep. As well, their legs aren't itching, jumping about, they're not in pain. Yeah. So it's been good. So I know that that's an area of growth for me.
Yeah.
So
I'm very brave to do that, because it costs money to set all that up and
it does.
And to do testing.
For anything, any business that you set up or you're going to branch along, always do your research. Find reputable suppliers or take advice from professionals. Test things out, do it small, don't do it half-heartedly, but do it small, don't risk too much, and see where you can grow and then follow that path as you go along.
Yeah. And what do you plan to do with the oils and the brims after to launch those as a product for people
It
to
will
buy?
be, now that I've sort of set up the system, now I've got a shop on my website, now I've got the supply chain, and the packaging is right. That took a lot of research to do.
Yeah.
Now that I know that I can then grow that by adding other products in.
And we did a brainstorming session together, didn't we, with quite a few people in the room. Those sort of ability to be able to do that to a group that would give honest feedback, and we were able to test it there as well, weren't we?
Yeah, that's good. And I think what happens when you start in business, you're on your own, and also trying to put up a brave front. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
It's okay. You get criticism from your friends and family that have got a nice steady job.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you go into this? Well, I don't want to
Get
do
a
that.
normal job.
Get a normal job.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite good to be in the company of people that are running their own businesses well, have an
Yes.
opinion, honest with you.
Yeah.
Why waste 3 hours of farting around saying, oh, that's great, but not really? You
Yeah.
just want to say
You want
constructive
feedback, don't you?
criticism.
Yeah, exactly.
And would they have it, and what do you
Yeah.
suggest? You've got, in a room full of 10 business people, you've got, at least about 100 years of experience
Yeah.
in there, and people that are more specialist in IT, the software, marketing. I'm a specialist in massage and products, but they can bring that all to you, and or people in finance
Yes.
that can help
Yeah.
you.
Do you still get people say that to you when are you going to get a proper job?
Not now, fortunately, not now.
10 years is pretty stable, isn't
Yeah.
it? Wow. Annie, there's going to be redundancies, mate. It is the time of the year. We're in November now. There's going to be redundancies happening December, early January. Companies do that anyway. If you would give advice to any of the women watching this, what would it be? You've just been made redundant. What would your advice be?
I would say sit down with your partner, look at your finances, see if there's anything you need to pay off and what you need to do, and if there's an opportunity to use that money to have that job that you've always been dying to do, or that business you've wanted to start. There are a lot of support networks out there. There's a lot of local authority and government funding to help you on your way, but I'd actually say network and find a local female-oriented business group that you could join.
Yeah, both of us are avid networkers. It works for both of our companies, and that's a great way, isn't it? Just to go as a guest, a visitor, just to see what your product or service would get for feedback, without spending tons of money.
I think it is, and it's very. I think networking or joining women in business or any group, it's about your confidence, because you need to be able to stand up and talk with confidence, or sit around a table or one-to-one and talk about your business, and not be embarrassed about it. Be proud of what you're doing. So much we're sort of, we don't like showing off.
You're not allowed to do too well, are you?
I'm actually, it's okay. It's all right. Well, how many people have you rung up? Well, how many? We'll ring them up then and say, okay then, So you need a bit of
the balls to
a
do
little
it,
bit of
isn't
like
it?
wind behind you from somebody who's patting you on the back and helping you along is great, and then a bit of mentoring for you. So,
and I think all of us get that from those networking groups, don't we?
Yeah, and then you realise that once you've stood up in front of 6 of your like-minded individuals, you can stand up in front of 6 people who are giving out funding for your next big projects.
Yeah.
You know your bottom line. You can talk the ins and outs of your product.
Yeah.
For moving forward.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you, Annie, for coming over. Thank you for giving us your thoughts and being brave and let us know what you've done to get where you are. It's fantastic. You've come a long way since you started.
Yeah.
To be going on to do your own products is next level, isn't it?
And I think looking back at where you were, I think it's a good thing. See how far you've come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of women don't pat themselves on the back, do they?
No.
It's I'm just going to do this, and all of us juggle so much, don't we? It's
it's demanding. It's demanding. Yeah. Job, home, relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships that need handling.
Yeah.
Everything does.
Yeah. How do you do that then? How did you handle it?
Not very well, obviously.
Nor me. But you've just got to keep going forward, haven't you?
Yeah.
If this is our path of being female business
Find a
owners.
like-minded partner, I would
Yes,
say.
yeah.
If they understand it, then they're the right one for you.
Yeah, high five you.